Here we go, another Story of Seasons game to try out. Honestly, I find it kind of 50-50 with these games whether or not they hit the mark, so I was pretty keen to see how this one fared. Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar is a full remake of the 2008 Nintendo DS version and is now out on Nintendo Switch and PC. So it's not just like a remaster with a new kind of coat of paint, it's a totally new rebuilt game with updated visuals, quality of life changes, and a few new touches to make it more modern, I guess. But at its core, it's still the same idea as the original. So the unique hook that this one has is the Bazaar. Basically a big open marketplace that takes place every Saturday in-game. So instead of just shipping your crops off like you normally would in most farming sims, here you'll actually run your own stall and sell your goods to people and watch the marketplace grow over time. As you start this game, you'll be a newcomer moving into the small town where the bazaar has been struggling since the last farmer left. Naturally, the mayor is super desperate for someone to breathe new life into the place, and that ends up being you. When you arrive in town on a Saturday, the mayor immediately gives you a few items to sell so that you can get a feel for how the market works. This doubles as both a tutorial and a way to kind of get you a little bit of money to start your farm. The days that follow your arrival are filled with people popping in to lend a hand. You'll get free tools, helpful advice, and a crash course on how everything works. What I really liked here though was the pacing. The game doesn't drag you through endless tutorials like some other entries in the series. You can completely skip these if you want or breeze through them pretty quickly. Inside your house, you've also got a few nice touches that immediately made me beyond excited. There's an encyclopedia filled with all the fish, crops, and forageables you can discover, and a trophy shelf where you'll store rewards and collectibles. So it's kind of just a big blaring obvious thing to me that there's lots to be done here. But what I found about Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar is it's not really about following some big dramatic story. Instead, it's more so focusing on living your daily life. You'll farm, upgrade your land, befriend villagers, and slowly build up the bazaar's reputation, with the main driver of the game being to upgrade the bazaar. Normally, I would need a bigger goal to get me hooked, but surprisingly, it worked really well with this game. During my first season alone, I had people knocking on my door almost every single morning, whether it was a new character moving into town, a shopkeeper asking for something, or someone introducing a brand new mechanic. There was always something happening, and it gave the sense that the world was constantly evolving around me. And on top of that, leveling up the bazaar never stopped being rewarding. Every new level unlocked new shops, more items, new upgrades to purchase, and even getting new stalls takes a bit of work. You know, you'll usually have to complete some sort of request first, even to get that far. Someone might need materials, or you might have to complete a certain task before they'll join the market. And then once you do, you'll notice that their new stall has been set up the following Saturday. So the market itself grows as the game does as well, and it genuinely feels like you're bringing back life to this town. By the time I was a few seasons in, I had clothing stalls, furniture shops, food vendors, and more. And because each week is a chance to sell what you've been working on, there's this nice rhythm of farming during the week and then cashing in on the weekend. And it always got me really hyped to see how much money I could get. Now, of course, you're not just locked into selling at the bazaar. You can still sell and buy items from a couple of shops in town if you want to. Although, honestly, the idea of the game is that you pretty much save everything for the bazaar so that you can make the most of it every week. Now, in classic Story of Seasons fashion, there's also relationship building and romance. You've got a handful of eligible bachelors and bachelorettes to woo, each with their own personalities and backstories. To be honest though, I found the romance side of things a little underwhelming this time around. Everyone is friendly and nice enough, but the characters felt a little bit too flat for me. Pretty much only the mayor really stood out in terms of a memorable or interesting personality, and especially the eligible bachelors. None of them seemed interesting enough to me to make me want to pursue them in a romantic way. But that being said, the character designs are freaking adorable. The art style here is amazing. From villages to animals, and especially the elderly townsfolk, everything is adorable. And speaking of adorable, the freaking animals. Oh my gosh. So you start with a single plot of farmland and a barn, but as you upgrade you can expand to 2 more plots and another barn. And the barn animals are just ridiculously cute. Little round cows and sheep, all with oversized features, and then little blobby chickens that you can pick up and carry them around. It's so cute. And then there are the pets. Oh my goodness, the pets. So you're not just limited to 1 or 2, you can have up to 4 cats and 4 dogs at once. Naturally, I collected as many as I possibly could, as quickly as I possibly could, and picking them up never got old. So there's this little animation with the cats where they kind of stretch when you lift them up, and it absolutely melted me every single time. Just totally beyond cute, and I couldn't get enough of it. You can also train your animals and enter them into shows, which aside from them herding your animals in and out of their barns every day, it adds an extra level. And on that note, there are so many events sprinkled throughout the year to keep you occupied as well. Everything from cooking contests to animal shows, Halloween festivals, flower days, and more. And each season has multiple events, so there's always something to look forward to. Crafting also plays a big role here thanks to the 3 windmills scattered around town. These will let you process raw goods into all kinds of items: cheese, flour, jewelry, even tool upgrades. It's a really clever system that ties into the whole market theme, since crafting often increases the value of what you're selling. There's also things like foraging, mining, chopping wood, and exploring the mountains as kind of an extra thing to fill up your days. Now here's the point where the game dipped for me a little bit. By the time I hit the 2nd year, I had no motivation to keep going. I'd gotten most of my farm upgrades, nearly maxed out the bazaar, and experienced all of the events that I could. There wasn't a whole lot left to kind of keep me going, I guess. And without a stronger story to drive things forward, the game got boring really, really quickly. And honestly, I find this in most Story of Seasons games. A lot of farming games add different things as the seasons go along. You know, look at Stardew Valley, that could keep you going for 5 years without a problem. But for Story of Seasons, it can never quite hold my attention for that long. So I think I clocked just under 40 hours to finish my 1st year. And with that being said, it did keep me occupied for that 1st year at least, just not into the 2nd year. So can I recommend it? It's a good fun little game, definitely. But I do note that the price is super expensive, especially if you get it for Nintendo Switch 2 like I did. So I guess it's the kind of thing you need to decide where, if you are like me and think you're only going to play a year of this game, is that worth the price that this game is going to cost you? Because that is one heck of a question. And I often find myself questioning this more and more as games, especially Nintendo Switch 2 games, get more and more expensive. For me, I definitely think it's been a bump up from normal Story of Season games, but in saying that, as an overall farming sim game, I think Story of Seasons is always a bit basic. So yeah, let me know what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Have you played it yet? Do you intend on playing it? If you haven't, I'd love to know. Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!